Well, good morning or good afternoon. It's morning for me, but good afternoon, everybody. Hey, Data. Hey, Spittle Buggies. Yes. I woke up less than 25 minutes ago. I haven't even had a cup of coffee yet, but that's beside the point. I drank so much coffee at work last night. Well, when I have to pull these overnight shifts, I take in 64 ounces of coffee with me, and I also take in uh, a 40-ounce container of a caffeinated beverage. Besides, go make one. Nah, I really can't because I've got my leg compression thing going. My legs are really swollen here the past couple of days, so put on my leg pumps and got them going. Hey, Neil, how's it going? So got my leg pumps going, milking, trying to milk the fluids out of my legs so that I can walk tonight at work, or at least hobble around using my cane. But anyway, there is one thing I woke up to today that actually made it a good day. And I am so ecstatic over this because I will be where is it? There it is. I cannot wait. I've only got one complaint with this, but the trailer for the second part of Dune released today.
It's breathtaking. When you see sand here, imagine water. If you dive in, you can't reach the bottom.
Let's watch
You
this
dive
together.
Yes, it's called swimming.
I don't
All
believe
right.
you.
In the shadows of Arrakis lie many secrets, but the darkest of them all may remain. The end of House Atreides.
Your father didn't believe in revenge.
What if Paul Atreides was still alive?
Oh, this looks good. This is looking good. Oh my, oh my. I can't wait.
Have you ever had a dream about your first ride?
Don't try to impress anyone. You're brave, we all know that. Be simple. Be direct.
Oh wow.
Nothing fancy.
I understand.
This is really looking good.
Nothing fancy.
You will never lose me, Paul Atreides.
We gave them something to hope for.
That's not hope! May thy knife chip and shatter.
Okay. I cannot wait to see that. Data, I can see you. Hey, oh, you're erasing a backup drive. Oh. Yeah, I cannot wait to see that. Again, my only complaint about this movie already is Zendaya. I am not impressed with her as an actress. Never, I have not been. I and I don't think she can act her way out of a paper bag. That is my only complaint about this movie, but she was the hot commodity at the time because of the Spider-Man franchise and her other movies that she'd been in. So she was the it girl at the moment. So I understand why they put her in, but I still think that they could have found somebody much better as a actress. Uh, let's see here. Is there somebody? Is there an issue with my stream here, guys? Okay, I'm seeing com glitch, and unless you got this is a conversation going on somewhere between and between uh, that I don't know anything about, but that's beside the point. That often happens too. Oh, I need to go ahead and get my watch on the charger. Like I said, I just woke up. I mean, and if it hadn't been for my dog waking me up because he needed to go outside and go potty, I would probably still be asleep. Come on, shut off, you stupid watch. Thank you. Okay. When I am going to have to sit down and watch all the all three Dune movies that I have and just get psyched, ready to watch this part two. And because I cannot wait. I am so anxious to see this. Ah, and another piece of news I woke up to while I was getting the computer fired up and ready to go. Uh, a question asked at today's press briefing, and the typical non-answer you would expect.
Give a report on the DOJ nearing a decision on whether to charge President Biden's son Hunter with tax and gun-related violations. I wonder if the White House has any comment on this case, if it's something the president has been following, or if he talks to Hunter about this case at all.
I would.
It's not Peter Ducey asking the question, so is the other rest of the press finally starting to get involved in this? Are they starting to wonder about this now? Because for a long time, the rest of the press absolutely ignored anything going on with Hunter and the Department of Justice.
To Hunter about this case at all.
I would have to refer you to Department of Justice. Can't stand it.
And that was the end of her answer. Wow. And she was not happy. Look, I mean, just look at this face as she's answering that question. Just look at that face. She's like, "Are you guys ganging up on me? Are y'all starting to turn on this greatest president ever? The president who got the most votes ever?" This is that just makes me happy. If that had been a Trump child or a Bush child being investigated like this. Remember how they tore George Bush apart when one of his girls got caught underage drinking? And it was just question after question after question, and insinuating what a horrible parent he and his wife was, for their child is caught underage drinking. Oh wow, Spittle. You do board level repair work? Interesting. I have not done board level repair, and good God, it's been 25 years. Well, let's see. I've been married 33 years. I quit working at the store doing repair work. Been married about 3 years. So, yeah, it's been 30 years. Hey, JT, good morning. Doing board. What's a crime in some states, JT? What, repairing a board? Oh, yeah, well, yeah, that a 20-year-old having a adult beverage is a crime in most states, in every state. But compared to the crimes that Hunter Biden is purportedly, allegedly having done, such as drug use and lying on the federal forms to purchase firearms, throwing firearms in the trash can. Yeah, there is a slight difference in the level of that crime. Uh, but yeah, I mean but then that's just my partisanship looking at that. Uh, Somebody having an adult beverage, drinking a beer when they're 19 or 20 years old, and somebody doing crack off of a hooker's belly. There's just something, somebody lying on the background check forms you fill out when you uh, purchase a firearm. That's just I don't know. I, I just I don't think the two crimes are quite equal there. But hey, that's just me. That's just me. Um, I had a good night last night. I do. I think I've told y'all before. I do online auctions, and fortunately, the online auction I work with and when I say do, I mean there's an online auction site. I go there. It's a local auction and buy other people's junk. I mean, it's a yard sale from the internet. And I had a very good night last night. Uh, got an $80 mixer bowl for my KitchenAid for $11. Got 1 gram of silver for $4. 90.999% pure fine silver for $4. Got some sizzle trays for $1 a piece. but I've, you know, it's got some stuff for the wife that she wants for her garden. What got me the only thing that really sort of irritated me about it is they had the old fashioned milk can, and it was pretty rusty. I mean, it was nasty rusty, and I was willing to. I bid up to like $7 on the thing because I was going to primer it and such, paint it up, and give it to the wife to put out in her flower garden. And some jerk went and bid $25 on it. It's like, damn. Now, take that thing. Yeah, the 4473. 127.6 gigs out of 128 is so close now. I see the firmware chip. So I'm only losing one on a repaired note. So that's going to be okay. Spittle, I tell you, congratulations. But I am really happy. Like, if y'all, just little things that I got a VR, and I'll check to see if it works. I mean, it says it works. It had been tested. VR headset for $6.50. I've wanted a VR headset for a long time. It's just I wasn't going to spend the money that they wanted on them. And I've got, let's see, what else did I get off the top of my noggin last night? So yeah, I'm looking forward to going out, and I spent a little bit more money overall than what I wanted to. I ended up spending almost $100. But I got, like I said, I got some stuff for the wife, got some stuff for the grandchild, and got some more stuff for the grandchild to be. The one coming is September, October time frame. So it's worth it. They had a lot of comics on this auction. I sent some of them to Jack to see if he wanted me to bid on them and send them to him. And I will be interested to see how that, and he said he already had most of them, and the other ones he didn't have. Got some books that I've been audio books on CD, which is nice. I'll transfer them over to my computer and go at them from there. Well, I mean, you sold in-game skins. Good. I didn't know you could do that. But then I haven't played anything with in-game skins, and I mean, I even quit playing D&D over a year ago, almost 2 years ago. I quit playing not D&D, but World of Warcraft. So, But speaking of President Biden and Skiffy Schiff, not Skiffy Schiff, but Shifty Shit, the Republicans have sent a letter to Christopher Wray, and Merrick Garland and Christopher Wray. We have received legally protected and highly credible unclassified whistleblower disclosures. Based on those disclosures, it has come to our attention that the Department of Justice and the FBI possess unclassified FD-10 23 form that describes an alleged criminal scheme involving then Vice President Biden and a foreign national relating to the exchange of money for policy decisions. Remember when Adam Schiff and the Democrats filed impeachment and impeached Trump for supposedly one trying to get money from Ukraine for policy decisions? It has been alleged that a document includes a precise description of how an alleged criminal scheme was employed, as well as its purpose. Based upon the alleged specificity within the document, it would appear that the DOJ and the FBI have enough information to determine the truth and accuracy of the information contained within it. However, it remains unclear what steps, if any, were taken to investigate the matter. The significant public interest in assessing the FBI's response to this information, as well as growing concern about the DOJ's and the FBI's track record of allowing political bias to affect their decision-making process, necessitate exacting congressional oversight. The DOJ and the FBI appear to have valuable, verifiable information that you have failed to disclose to the American people. Therefore, Congress will proceed to conduct an independent and objective review of this matter, free from these agencies' influence. Senator Grassley and Representative James Comer. All right. First of all, there is no objective review of this matter. All right. It's going to be tinged with politics on both sides of the aisle. Anybody who claims otherwise is full of it. And so, objective, unbiased. Now, let's just throw them words out the window. They don't exist in this political realm anymore. We all know that. But my God, the FBI has been so politicized. The Department of Justice has been politicized for decades. I mean, when the Attorney General of the Department of Justice is appointed by the president, rarely will the Attorney General make decisions that will hurt his boss, will hurt the man that appointed him. That will rarely happen. So, has it happened? Yes. But does it happen often? No. And Spittle, you're right. WoW fell off the deep end. Like I said, I got tired of playing it because I got tired. I'm trying to get stuff together for raids, and I'm having to spend half my time online just trying to knock out the daily so I can get to the stuff to do the stuff that I need to do to get ready for the raids. And it wasn't fun anymore. And D&D, now I quit playing D&D because the group I played with, everybody PCS'd or got out of the service and moved. And I couldn't find a new D&D group. And I mean, I even played after I got married. So, being married had nothing to do with it. And then I saw the changes they made to D&D. And, especially when they said, well, yeah, we're going to start having characters in wheelchairs. And these are going to be magical wheelchairs that can go up and down stairs. Excuse me? That that hurts my soul thinking about. I mean, I don't play Dungeons and Dragons. I don't play WoW. I don't play these games to see myself as I am. All right. I play these games to see myself as something I wish I could be: bigger, faster, stronger, smarter, with abilities and capabilities that are absolutely impossible for me to have, you know? And being, if I don't want my medical conditions involving me in my life, in my real life, transferring over to my game world. That's, I want to be the guy, that can go for days without eating or carry 800 pounds on his back without thinking twice about it. Yeah, they've been using bad ideas in D&D for a while. And I was glad I quit playing then. I mean, my son's, he wants me to D&D or to DM a group for him, a run. I pulled out all my old stuff, but now it's just a matter of trying to get his group together for me to DM. And it's no longer will it interfere with my time, because other than Saturday nights, I don't have a time when I can't play anymore. Oh, yeah, you're right. Escapism isn't allowed anymore, Spittle. I don't want the humdrum. I play a game, I don't want that to be the humdrum of what I've got to do every day. I don't want that. I don't want to have to, oh, I ate 12 hours ago and now I got to worry about going over here in the corner and take a pee in the middle of the battle. Or, well, I just crapped all over myself because I forgot, in the middle of a fight here, because I couldn't go over there to sit down and take a squat. That's not what I'm about when I'm playing D&D or anything like that. All those bodily functions just, they don't exist. You can eat and all you want and not get fat. Hey, how you doing there, WR? Good to see you. Are shrooms evil? No, shrooms are not evil. Well, at least not this shroom. Now, if you're talking about those magic mushrooms that people, them silly shrooms, I have never partaken of them, therefore I cannot judge them. But I would be very concerned about anybody partaking of, if I knew somebody partaking of them silly shrooms. So, and I cannot believe the number of people over the years have come up to me and asked me if I sold the magic mushrooms. It's like, dude, really? Come on, no. Or do I smoke them or eat them or whatever? Man, now I get my mushrooms out of the grocery department, the fresh veggie department of the grocery store. I don't go for those mushrooms that you dry out and smoke and toke or do whatever. It's not that it's laws dealing with it for me. It's, I mean, even when I overindulge in adult beverages, I don't do it to get stupid or I, know, I, I've overindulged because I like the taste of the whiskey that I was drinking at the time too much. So now I love sauteed mushrooms or stuffed mushrooms, portobellas or shiitake. I don't care. I mean, um, chicken of the wood, man, those are some great mushrooms. There's a lot of really beautiful mushrooms. Did I hear who is behind the Writers Guild strike? Okay, no, I have not heard who is behind. I understand what's going on with the Writers Guild strike, at least as has been the videos I've seen with it. They're tired of being underpaid. That these they're not getting the residuals that they're supposed to be getting or that they should have been getting. The studios are making serious bank on the on streamed programming, and they're not passing any of that money down to the writers. They're doing these mini rooms, I think is what the term they're using, where they'll get top level writers to write 5 scripts, and then that's it. They run those 5 shows, then they turn them over to other people to write so that the original writers don't get any money off the programming. It's a whole convoluted mess, and I usually don't go in with this idea of the businessmen are bad people and mistreating their employees. I usually don't fall for that trope, but no, I did not know the DSA was involved with that. Yeah, that's, I mean, I've listened to a lot of the videos put out by different writers, and they've made pretty good points as far as why they're going on strike, especially for live programming. But when they start bringing in the DSA to represent them, that's enough. That's enough to give me a lot of concern as to what's going on with them, because I'm not a big fan of the DSA, obviously. They are scum buckets. So I'm all for supporting the writers and the writers being given a fair and honest wage for what they do and everything else, because writing is not an easy job, and writing for movies, writing for television, writing for anything is not easy, and uh, it's not a mentally easy job. It's a lot of effort, a lot of work goes into it. Anybody that sat down and tried to pound out a book or a script or anything will know that. And I mean, I've done both. So, and I have a jazz bar. Oh, okay. Long Island ITs in a jazz bar are bad news. Eh. What is ADFUT? I've got to look that up again. ADFTA. Nope, that's not it. Where? ADFTA, yep. AD. Not. I cannot find that acronym anywhere. I do not see that acronym. AFTA movies. Okay. I don't see that acronym anywhere. Well, at least Bing's not bringing that up anywhere. So, AFTRA. Yeah, the American Federation of Television Radio Artists. Right, that's because I was a member of AFTRA and the Screen Act. Well, I was a member of Screen Act. Yeah, I was a member of Screen Actors Guild. I had to join both when I worked at the television station. Yeah, that was the only bad thing about when I worked in the television industry on the engineering side. But I also wrote scripts and I also did voiceovers. So I had to join all the damn unions. They all had their fingers in my pie. So, um, the only people who don't get rich in Hollywood and in the industry are the people whose faces you never see. The people behind the scenes, they never get rich. They can make a comfortable living, barely. I know more than one of the writers that I've been talking to, or not talking to, but watching their videos and such over the past 2 months on this mess is if all things to be believed. Gotta say that. Always, always, always understand. If all things are to be believed, because I never believe anybody 100%. But over half of them have to have second jobs as Uber drivers and door dashers and such like that in order to make ends meet, or so they claim. But don't all cats look dead when they're sleeping? My especially as old as our cat is, if I see him sleeping, I'll go over and wake him up just to make certain he's still alive. The wife thinks I'm mean, but I just don't want to sit there and think my cat's asleep on the couch for 6 hours and come to find out he's been dead on the couch for 6 hours. Or across the bed. Because our cat likes to sleep on our beds, sometimes on the pillows, sometimes on the mattresses. Oh, California, you're right. There, you get that stupid place to live anymore. Stupidly expensive. ATF, the same people that want to make it illegal to attach a piece of plastic to your pistol to make it easier for you to shoot it if you've got nerve damage or only one hand or only one arm or something. Something that's been legal for over a decade, all of a sudden trying to make it illegal. Talk about the pistol braces and turn millions of gun owners into felons. And by the way, register your firearm. Sneaky. And I honestly, I think it's a sneaky way of getting people to register their firearms with the ATF. It seems like they got a bit of a problem. And it's a pretty serious one. ATF, and this is from CNBC. This isn't from a conservative group. This is from, CNBC. That's NBC, the Peacock. They're not conservative. ATF broke the law by paying agents millions in wrongful benefits. The Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives for years illegally overpaid up to $20 million to agents and investigators who filled non-law enforcement positions by misclassifying them as law enforcement posts. The U.S. Office of Special Counsel, which disclosed the situation, said alerted President Joe Biden and Congress to substantial waste, mismanagement, and all unlawful employment practices involving high-level jobs at the ATF. The U.S. Office of Special Counsel said during a 5-year period that was investigated, 108 ATF employees who worked in non-law enforcement positions were improperly provided law enforcement availability pay and enhanced retirement benefits. Wow. That is, we're talking serious. This is serious here, and this doesn't happen without senior management knowing that's going on. And this has happened under both administrations. Yeah, exactly, Spittles. You can own it, but you can't use it. And if you use it, you have to send a picture of it and your gun to us, and then we'll give you permission, maybe, to be able to use them. Oh. The letter said that the whistleblowers claimed the agency had a long-standing policy of helping the careers of special agents and industry operations investigators by systemically misclassifying high-level non-law enforcement jobs and filling these coveted, primarily supervisory jobs with only special agents or those types of investigators. After the office OSC verified the claims, the watchdog referred the allegations to the ATF, which instead of conducting an internal investigation, referred to a then pending audit by the Office of Personnel Management, which manages federal civil service. The OPM later concluded that the ATF's leadership demonstrated a disregard for rule of law and regulations governing federal management policies and practices. We've known for years that the ATF didn't give a shit about the laws. We've known about that forever. They don't care about the laws. They try, if they can get it, especially under Democratic Democrat presidents who have filled, and the bureaucracies are filled with gun grabbers in the ATF. From mid-level to upper management people, They're filled with gun grabbers, people who don't think you and I should have the right to own a firearm. Oh, they sit there and say, well, all we do is enforce the law. No, you don't enforce the law. You make up laws, you make up rules. Congress passes the law. You make up rules that send people to jail. The ATF needs to have the firearm section of their stuff. And oh, you should have heard them. I don't have the video handy, but you should have heard this Dieter character complaining that they're not allowed to have a searchable database of every gun in the country, that they don't have a registration because Congress has made it illegal for us to have this registration of who owns what guns. You should have heard the whiny ass little bitcher about this. If I can find it, I'll put it into a stream later on. But this guy's sitting there whining that that Congress is determined that it's illegal for them to have a searchable database, and how they had to pay extra. They had to pay extra for a database that was non-searchable. Oh, break my heart. Break my heart that you're not allowed to have a registry of who owns what guns. It's none of your damn business who owns what guns. We've already seen what happens when the government has access to who owns what guns. I don't have to go any further back than Katrina. When New Orleans and Louisiana State Police went into gun shops, got the 44 17s or whatever they are, got those forms, and using them forms went house to house confiscating firearms, leaving the people there unarmed, unable to protect themselves. When Michael hit us here, and I mean, people were breaking into homes. I kept my 30-30 loaded, which normally I never kept loaded up until that time because that was a hunting rifle. I didn't keep it loaded, but I kept my 30-30 loaded in a quickly accessible spot. And the wife kept her 380 on her at all times, and I kept my 9mm on me at all times. LA County destroy orders last year because reasons. Yep. You're exactly right, Spittle. Any rule, any regulation, anything done by these alphabet soup agencies that work directly for the president, and as such, the president can sign an executive order or just drop a hint in a meeting that he wants something done, and bingo, there's a new rule created, which has the effect of law without going through Congress. And, they complain, well, Congress acts too slow. That's intentional. That's not a design flaw, it's a design feature. Congress is supposed to, it's supposed to be hard to pass laws. Sometimes, I get frustrated sometimes. I want to see laws passed. And laws I want to see passed, people who don't like them laws, they do everything they can to stymie them. But then when the other side's trying to pass laws I don't like, I like it when them laws can get stymied. No, neither side should have unfettered control of what becomes law. We pretty much all should agree on that. Okay. And I'll tell you what I'm going to do here. We're coming up on the first hour. I am going to, if anybody wants to pop in for this last hour, wait a minute, what happened here? Why didn't it post? There we go. If anybody wants to pop in here for this last hour, Spittle, JT, Data, let's see, Duck Dog. If anybody wants to pop in here, let's go for it. Let's have a little roundhouse. And it's like I said the other morning. This week I may stream when I get home from work. I planned on streaming when I got home from work this morning, but then I was supposed to leave at 7, and I didn't get out of there until 8. Didn't get home until 20 till 9, and I went back to the bedroom, sat down on the bed, and next thing I know, it's 10:30, 11 o'clock. So I just rolled over and went back to sleep. Cussing at the computer. Well, I used to be, really up on computers and technology and everything, Spittle. And I have gotten so far behind on everything that I go to buy anything anymore, and I'm having to ask half a dozen people their opinions. And what should I be looking for now? So like when I get this VR headset later on this week, it's probably going to take me a week to get it set up, but I'm going to give it a try. Hey, Dave, JT, how y'all doing this
Oh,
afternoon?
good.
How you doing, JT?
Hey, how's it going?
Well, fair to Midland, I guess. At
Hey,
least I'm
Data,
not-
if you
I'm
want
not
to post
homeless
your
yet.
link to your
Yeah, I can do
eBay
that.
site, you don't have to ask me. Just go ahead and post it.
Okay, yeah.
Don't wait on me to tell you to post it. Just
I
post it.
know. I just don't want to be rude either, and
Well-
I'm not an e-beggar either. So, but it definitely has been helping, I guess. I mean, a little more. I can't tell who's buying and not. I don't know if they're, are there anybody in your audience, but it seems like it's been here and there.
Hell, I sell stuff on my car. I know the feeling too.
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of the rug was kind of pulled out from under me. I've been working for this lady for like 3.5 years, and working off my rent, and I feel like I've been doing. I know a lot about construction. My dad was a big builder, and I thought I was representing her pretty damn well, and I said, listen, if you want me to start remodeling kitchens and bathrooms for you, you gotta at least cover my bills. I mean, I can't do this all for free. I gotta have a little bit of money, and that's when she started balking. So, and then she slapped a fucking what do you call what the hell is it? An eviction notice on my door. Which,
That sucks.
Yeah, But again, she's like Mrs. Magoo. She's like 88 years old, and the whole damn family is nuts. And it's like, it would be healthy for me to get the hell out of here. The problem is I just don't have any fucking savings. Don't even have a friggin' car at the moment. I mean, I got 2 cars in the parking lot. Neither of them, one of them needs, I think, a timing chain, and the other one is a 67 Firebird that's half in boxes. So I'm looking at actually, which is killing me. I'm looking at actually like giving that 67 Firebird away for like a lot less than I would ever want to take. But when you're in that position,
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out how to get a decent car to maybe start doing some Uber.
Yeah,
It seems like that's especially down here in Miami, Florida. There's a lot of
most people would recommend a Toyota or it's something that has less gas that has good gas mileage.
You're reading my mind. I'm thinking a Toyota Senna, the minivan.
Hey,
Yeah.
Data, wouldn't you be almost better off doing a DoorDash or something like that? Because that way
You can do it.
don't have to worry about the customer complaints about your vehicle. You can that's nice of a vehicle.
That's the thing. I don't have a vehicle right now. In other words,
but I mean, you can pick up a lesser vehicle, and when I mean lesser, I mean the interior is not as nice.
Right.
Maybe the headliner's drooping a bit, or the seats are a little bit stained or something.
I'm not quite sure. I know they're pretty damn strict when it comes. I mean, of course, DoorDash they're probably a lot less strict, but since you're working for them, they probably don't want you in some sort of fixer upper. They don't want you to risk you driving into somebody's living room or something.
Well, no, but see, I've seen. Well, they want the vehicles mechanically sound.
Yeah, and fairly new.
But there's a difference between mechanically sound and aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah. There's that. There is that. But I thought there would be more money in Uber because, again, Miami, Florida, it's a big tourist town. There's also a lot of money. There's also a lot of partying.
Yeah,
and so
the big problem I've seen with people doing Ubers and Lyft is people canceling the rides halfway through the ride.
Yeah, you see that on the videos a lot.
Yeah. Or getting robbed.
Yeah, there's that. I mean, the thing about the negative is that it's a lot of times. I mean, if it wasn't on video, you'd never see it. but since it is on video, it gets played over, inflates the concern a little bit, if you know what I mean.
Right. Yeah, I know what you mean. There's now up here, one of the businesses that get around are people that rent out their pickup trucks to go to Home Depot and Lowe's, such like that.
Hell.
There's I don't know if you've ever heard of this. It's called Zipcar. Have you ever heard of that?
No, I'm not familiar with that.
There's two. I think there's two major companies that do this thing, and I think the other one is Car2Go, and then Zipcar, and it's actually a
Caravan.
Is it Caravan too?
Yeah, Caravan unfortunately is out of business.
Okay, yeah, so it's kind of like
Carvana,
a club.
That's the other one. That was the one that got out of business.
Oh, I thought Carvana was a car sales. No.
Yeah.
Okay, no, the Zipcar isn't car sales. You basically join a club for a monthly payment, and it's usually a fairly low monthly payment. And the way it works is the cars are parked all over the place, and they're all worked through a smartphone. And you basically, if you need a car, there's a few different versions. There's like a micro car, a mid-size, a sedan, and a SUV.
Yeah.
And you can look on the app where it's parked and if it's available. And you will walk up to it and you point your cell phone to it. It unlocks the car. You get in and you use it. And they pay for the gas. They pay for the insurance. And then when you're done using it, you park it.
Oh, so just a rental.
It's kind of like a rental, but not a rental. It's like a micro rental, and it's also kind of like a self-serve rental. No rental company per se. And it's kind of, I mean, for a lot of people, they buy a car, they spend a lot of money, and there's a lot of depreciation, and the car sits in their driveway 75% of the time. I mean, I'm not talking about commuters that use it every day, but moms and popses, and they maybe use a car once a week or 3 times a week. So yeah,
Oh,
it's kind of neat deal. Shared car deal. So what were we talking about?
just basically anything that pops up. Like I just had a news flash come across my screen here. J.P. Morgan Chase CEO Jamie Dimon is scheduled to be deposed on May 26th and 27th in civil suits over Jeffrey Epstein.
Oh,
Ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah, because there's a list. The list has been leaked out.
well, a partial list.
Yeah.
The ones
Now,
ones
has that partial list been verified, or is it just somebody threw a bunch of names on and down and said, "Okay, these are the people we think have done it," just to muddy up the waters?
Good question. I'm pretty sure that the who's ever on that list was thrown up for cannon fodder to protect the people that aren't being shown on the list. Yeah. I mean, who honestly believes that Jeffrey Epstein committed suicide?
I honestly don't believe he killed himself.
I mean,
but then again, a lot of people believe in a lot of things. Like one guy believed that he got reincarnated or something like that.
you heard what happened to his partner too, right?
Yeah.
The head of the modeling agency in France.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Jesus.
Committed suicide in jail.
Yeah.
Quote, suicide, unquote.
Yeah. They've been doing the
there's
same.
there's it's been since the 70s. I'm sure Task Shroom can verify this. In like the mid 80s, the early 80s, the mid 80s, there was an investigation of child sexual whatever. You know what I'm talking about. At what the hell was it? Boys Town.
Yeah.
And
I heard about that. My friend
those
told me about it.
Yeah.
It happened in Nebraska, right?
But that investigation went all the way up to the White House and then stopped and then was erased. And the same thing in the UK, they had an investigation that went all the way up to the House of Lords, and then it stopped, and then it was erased. And this has been ongoing for decades, where there's something going on with this, and there's a lot of missing kids too. I mean, you'd be surprised the amount. There are, I think the number is something like 800,000 missing children in the United States alone every year. That's a lot of friggin' missing kids.
Yeah.
Disappearing without a trace. I mean, I'm sure a few of them were UFOs, but you can't blame aliens on everything.
Okay, let's see here. Here's something else just popped across. The Metro Nashville Police Department is suspending release of the journals and writings of the Covenant school shooter due to pending litigation.
Oh, did you see the other headline? The judge, what's her name? The DA in Chicago, the one who dropped the charges on Juicy Smollett.
Oh yeah.
She got smacked by the judge saying that she wasn't doing her job.
Oh yeah, she got smacked hard a while back over that.
No, there was something just recent. So I guess maybe a judgment, a ruling or something that she wasn't
doing her job correctly.
Right. She wasn't fulfilling her duties and obligations of the office she's in.
Jeez.
There's starting to be a swing back to all this Soros nonsense.
Yeah. There's also the fact that a lot of people don't realize this, but there was a video that someone showed me And apparently there is a radicalized group of people on Reddit, and they're mostly trans. And this is a radical group that is very like they say they want to kill people. And this is against the TOS.
Right.
But here's the thing that surprised me about this is that they banned the incel Reddit board for basically for a shooting that happened. But when there's like a trans group, radical trans group that's in the board, they don't ban them at all.
They've got some sort of power, you know, and a lot of people think there's again back to what we were talking about with these higher ups diddling children. There's like an ongoing movement to make even pedophilia another letter in the LGBTQ.
Yeah.
And you know, maybe this is all stemming from that too. I mean, if you bring sexuality to the youngest of children, a side effect is the trans community.
Yeah.
Well, you know, some people are just protected, you know. And the right now that portion, that my group of people are deemed to be too
but if you present this to the Republicans, they'll be like, oh my God, why isn't Reddit taking? And if you show it to the Republicans, they'll try to ask Reddit, why didn't you take down when this shooting happened with this radicalized group in question has been saying these crazy things that they're going to kill people. And that's kind of the thing that should be said.
Be honest, 3/4 of the Republicans will ask you, what's Reddit?
Yeah, I know. They don't even know what Reddit is.
That's true.
And if I tell them that Reddit is a board full of people that like to post like random stuff, like
they'll still not know what.
Yeah, they don't even know what it is. But
what the hell's a board? You mean like a 2x4?
But if you tell them that, oh, it's a Reddit board full of people that like to post your information on there, and they'll be like,
I haven't done Reddit in years. I used to be fairly active on the Reddit political boards.
Right.
And then, but I just like, it actually gets too reminiscent of back when the early 80s or the mid 80s rather, where, you know, is everything, if you did anything online, it was all board talk. There was no video chats, there were no audio, there were no, you know, you couldn't post pictures.
It's all BBS. Right. It's all text and BBS.
Right. You know, you're right, the old BBS days.
And everything was left to the imagination.
And I've gotten to, especially now, the battery of my cell phone is going, and I took it in to see about what it would cost me to get a new battery put in. And they said, "Oh yeah, we can replace it for you. It costs you $100." I'm like, I think I'll wait a little bit longer to replace that battery. But they said, "Well, what kind of usage do you get out of your phone?" I said, "Well, it's usually up and streaming Bluetooth to me about 20 hours a day."
Bluetooth?
And they're like, "What?" I said, "Well, I'm either listening to audiobooks or YouTube streams or Rumble streams or
Bluetooth can be a power.
I listen, so the Bluetooth feature and whatever, my phone don't just sit around. The only time it sits around.
Do you have an earphone jack on that phone?
No, it's Bluetooth is basically wireless.
No, I know, but it tends to be a power hog.
Yeah, it is.
Well,
if you have it running, I'm saying if you don't mind the wire, and
that's what I don't. I detest I
You
I
detest
detest the wire,
Okay.
and
Because
I
because
also
it'll make your battery last longer. That's all I'm saying. Even
yeah.
temporarily, it'll do that.
Spill Buggies has to rebuild his drive.
Oh, what do you mean rebuild? I thought he was just checking if it had errors. He was gonna wreck it.
No, he's saying he's going to rebuild it.
Oh, so he's gonna reuse it. Okay, so it passed.
Tick tick, slap slap. Got to rebuild this thing. Oh well.
Oh, it saved him a little
I
bit.
I just telling him I just had to buy two 1 terabyte and one 2 terabyte flash drives for backups.
Crazy. Oh,
And
do you have a Facebook account? You said you didn't use Reddit or anything, but do you
I've
do
got a
Facebook?
Facebook account that I get on to actually look at about once a month, maybe.
Okay.
And that's to see what pictures my daughter-in-law has put up. And then, catch up with, well, I wonder what so-and-so and, what's going on in these other, because I've got friends that post almost every day. So it takes me maybe 30 or 40 minutes going through Facebook to catch up with what everybody's doing. And then I shut down Facebook and ignore it for another month or so. It's
You know the deal. You know the conspiracy theory about Facebook, right?
what?
So the
Educate me.
Okay, so there was you know what DARPA is, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, DARPA had a long-standing project called LifeLog, and basically it was to basically put every single person, either in the United States or the world, in their own little log in a database. Guess what moment LifeLog was closed down?
When Facebook opened up?
The day Jeff's or the day Zuckerberg started Facebook, LifeLog was shut down.
Wow.
That's kind of funny.
That's weird.
And they still say that Facebook gets quite a bit of money from the CIA. So
Yeah, because they've been giving out information. Like, I remember there was a lawsuit that happened a while back, and Facebook lost, and they had to give out money to everybody.
Yeah.
Because they were sharing information to people. And my dad told me about it, and he told me to sign up to.
Oh yeah, I got that too. There's it's counting down. You don't have much time left to fill in the forms and send it in. They'll probably end up being what, pennies,
Yeah, pennies, probably 50 cents. I don't care. They're just $1.
Yeah,
it would probably be. That's
I
probably.
mean, hell, somebody just bought something from me for 99 cents. So there you go. A dollar is a dollar.
Yeah, however you get it.
Yeah. Like my mom used to say, if ein Pfennig dich nicht ehrt, ein Dollar ist dich wert. If you don't honor a penny, $1's worth nothing.
Yeah. That's true.
How? What is this going on at CNN? Somebody's saying that there's some allegations against CNN about something.
Let's look it up.
You remember during the Iraq War what CNN did, right? Remember when there's still video online if you can find it. They pretended to be in Iraq and they were on the roof.
Oh yeah.
Of their building in Hollywood, and they even went as far as to like grab and hold like gas masks and.
Okay.
Oh my God! I see a rocket. I hear the alarms.
Okay, so Don Lemon responds to exposing detailing alleged misandrous behavior.
Was that when he fished his fingers out of his crotch and put him underneath
Probably.
the nose of.
Don Lemon to expose detailing the alleged misogynist behavior at CNN. Partially false.
Did you ever
Potential.
see the early Don Lemon video where he was actually cracking down on the black zeitgeist? You know, pull up
Yeah.
your pants and clean up your properties and pick up the garbage and
Yeah.
and that's a big turnaround.
Yeah, it's like it's like I don't get why they did this to Don Lemon. Like Lemon allegedly questionable antics since he was hired by CNN in 2006. The article titled Don Lemon's misogyny at CNN exposed in malicious text mocking female co-workers and diva-like behavior featured interviews with multiple unnamed sources. One more
Well, he's gay, isn't he?
Yeah, he's gay.
So it's like, isn't that kind of normal? Gay guys kind of do against women,
Yeah, but when he's doing it in a professional sense in the workplace, that kind of does piss off people.
Yeah. I love it. I love it when he was, he's constantly race baiting, and then there was that interview with him in his kitchen, and if you noticed behind him on the counter, there was this big ass cookie jar that was the Aunt Jemima.
Oh yeah, he did that.
Mr. Race baiting.
Yeah.
Had one of the most racist.
And the funny thing is, he's married to a white man. It was
there you go.
Lemon allegedly tore up pictures and notes on top of Inside Phillips' desk in the news pod they shared. Wow. Phillips returns from Iraq. She purposely received text from an unknown number that said, "Now you've crossed the line. You're going to pay for it." Oh, Don Lemon was threatening her.
Definitely. Well, all these people, they make like $100,000 an episode. I mean,
I know.
they're on a whole other fucking level. I mean,
and Don just acts like an immature kid. Like, I'm gonna, and he's like an adult. And he's getting paid actually they get paid like 100,000 or more for doing shows like
per show. Yeah, I mean
show.
they're like freaking paycheck. Their bi-monthly paycheck is in the six fucking figures.
Yeah. It's like Don Lemon could have,
Look, I have nothing against it, but you know what? If you're a black man making six figures every 2 weeks, maybe cool it on the United States is such a racist white supremacist country.
I know.
Because if it was a racist white supremacist country, you wouldn't be on television.
Yeah, you wouldn't hear the voice of what's his name. This is CNN.
And if you're gay and black, you'd probably be in entertainment in a completely different way.
Yeah, because it's like because either way, they have all these black entertainers that are like making millions of dollars. Hell, the richest black person in right now in the United States is Oprah Winfrey, and they don't even acknowledge that.
Oprah Winfrey said that white people, for racism to end, white people need to. She came up with. I mean, some of these people, they've been, buried in multi-generational bullshit for so long that it's ingrained. I mean, there's a few interesting black Republican content creators that are. There's one who just became centrist. He was very, very liberal, and he's starting to now like do reactions to all different things. He's open to everything, and he's like blown away by what he's seeing and hearing, and even to the point where, we tend to see television as history. So like even the History Channel shows like dramatic pieces of war, but they were actually war movies. There was no, it's not like they're real. They're dramatized for effect. Same thing with Roots. Roots was really a popular book and a really popular miniseries. I mean, back
It was
then,
produced by Harmony Gold.
they
Wait a minute, Alex Haley produced it.
Alex Haley wrote it. And,
he wrote the book and he produced the show.
Yeah, from what I remember, Harmony Gold actually put the money up, right?
Oh, okay, now that may be.
But a lot of that, Alex Haley was actually asked about Roots, and he said, "Well, I tried to give my people a myth." So, where you see the white man running through the jungles trying to put nets over black people, that's bullshit. That's complete and utter bullshit.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, to this day, there's still slavery in Africa. It ain't by the white people.
Yeah. It's pretty bad.
It's even, even crazier is this. Right now, there's an estimate that there's between 60 and 80 million slaves globally right now. Do you know that number is more than all the slaves throughout all history, going all the way back to the Bible?
Jesus.
Because if you think about it, okay, the population of the planet has grown, but back in the Bible days, it wasn't a billion. It was in the hundreds of millions.
Yeah.
So we're talking 60 and 80 billion today. So, and even at the height of slavery, the slaves that were brought to the United States, they're talking about the max being a million and a half.
Yeah. And then they stopped that. The British stopped that.
Well, the British and the United States, we both had a hand in it.
Yeah.
I mean, the reason that we have a what the hell is it? A Marine Corps. The Marines were actually invented to go after the Middle Eastern slave trade. Their song from the hills of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli. Where do you think Tripoli is?
Africa.
They were sent out to block all the damn slave ships to recapture. There was a lot of American slaves being brought to the Middle East.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's kind of a downer.
That's actually an interesting. That's actually is an interesting history lesson.
What are you in cars? Are you a motorhead?
Not really. My dad is. He loves cars. He loves to drag race them.
Oh,
That's the weird thing about him. That's the weird thing about him.
Another weird about drag racing.
Yeah.
Does he drag race legally or on a street racing?
Legally, but he stopped doing that. He used to.
Did you ever go with him?
I did go with him one time to a car show. Like he loves cars, but I don't know what happened to him. It's just he kind of got upset about because he bought a Chevy Nova one time, and he kind of stopped fixing the car because he loves fixing cars and everything. Like he's like a mechanic. He's like a really good mechanic when he wants to be, but he gets tired of fixing stuff when it gets to the point of annoyance.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you, I've got a website he'd probably love, and he probably doesn't know of. It's called bringatrailer.com. And what it is it's actually
they sell
it's an auction. It's an auction, but it's a special auction.
Yeah.
The people that run the auction, it's invitation only.
Oh,
You can't just put your car up on that auction and say, okay, here it is. No, all the cars there are special cars, either extremely low mileage or unique, like unicorns, or something you haven't seen in 30 years, or
yeah.
there was one. It was you've heard of a sleeper car? A sleeper car is a car that looks like a normal car, and you'd be shocked to find out it's a drag racing car. So there was this powder blue Volvo station wagon
Yeah.
that had the drivetrain of a Mustang GT. So it had the 302 V8. It had a 5-speed stick and posse traction rear in a
Jesus.
baby blue Volvo station wagon.
Dang.
The ultimate.
Hey
sleeper.
guys,
Yeah.
had you seen this? You know I'm out of date on what's going on when I see this title. See this on CNN. Pornhub blocks access to Utah over age verification law.
Okay.
I think Pornhub is trying to show that they care about the standards too.
Now wait a second here though.
Maybe the law is a lot stricter than just click here if you're over 18.
Yeah.
What Pornhub and other adult sites controlled by its parent MindGeek began blocking visitors with Utah-based IP addresses this week. Now, instead of seeking adult content when visiting these sites, affected users are shown a message expressing opposition to SB 287, the Utah law signed by Governor Cox in March, which creates liability for porn sites that make their content available to people below the age of 18.
Holy shit! What's that picture on the right? Is that a whale's tongue or a dick?
I don't know.
It looks like a massive animals that are revealing and terrifying. That looks like a
whale porn.
Yeah.
So, porn sites are getting upset because they're being told that, hey, if you don't actually verify the age of the people going to them, you're going to be held legally liable for it.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
You can't
liability.
Yeah.
I mean, being held accountable.
UK has a porn license you have to buy before you can buy porn.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, in Great Britain, yeah. Let's see.
And this is only happening in one state, so.
So something about Louisiana at the bottom.
But porn is often a bellwether for how content and technologies are regulated. In Louisiana, one of the country's first age requirements for adult websites went into effect in January. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Pornhub says it receives 130 million visits a day. Wow.
There you go.
Yeah, including in Utah. Utah.
Yeah.
Oh, in Louisiana, you have to use your LA wallet, the state digital ID system. So the state now knows that every person that goes visit the porn.
I don't know why it's anybody's business to look up pornography. It's like, you want to know who watched that one porn, Debbie Does Dallas? Well, guess what? It's Jimmy from.
I mean, most people have VPNs anyways, so I mean.
Yeah, but they're trying to make that illegal too.
Yeah, they're trying to blow that out of the water too. You know,
the problem with VPNs is most of them that you access here in the States, they're not. The problem with those is that they're not as secure as people think they are. You actually have to get a VPN that does not follow under that the company and its servers and everything do not fall under U.S. jurisdiction.
Right, and out of country VPN. You know what? Well, a lot of people don't realize they can use VPNs. In other words, if you're like you're in North Florida and you want
Yeah.
a airplane ticket to New York, and you'll search in Florida in the U.S. for that one-way plane ticket to New York.
Right.
If you do that same search, but in Vietnam, because Vietnamese money and the economy is completely different, the prices will be completely different too. And you could buy that same ticket under that same name in Vietnam for a lot less and still use it here.
Well,
Lots of ways like that.
my sister's buying tickets to fly down here from Ohio for Thanksgiving week, and she always flies on Tuesdays. She'll fly down on Tuesdays. She'll leave out on a Tuesday.
Does she have a VPN?
And she just bought her tickets now, but and of course, the planes are wide open at this point. So she had she said there's only 2 seats taken on the flights. So she had basically the choice of any seat in the aircraft
Crazy.
that she could book. And she's like, this is great. I want to have my choice of seats, and the rates are really low right now for November's flights because the planes are empty.
I know one website that always tries to ask people for VPNs because what they have on their website is ROMs of games. And the problem with ROM right now is that most people use either BitTorrent and other stuff to download, and they use VPN for that because they don't want, nefarious like software or anything to come in or track them or ID them.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about now, but I remember a decade or two ago, these download sites, these peer-to-peer download sites.
Yeah,
there was ways of you could get a lot of stuff, but you also could get a shit ton of viruses too.
Yeah, and that was like the biggest, and that's like the biggest concern right now because that's why most people use VPN because even though that does help certain times with viruses, but most people have like antivirus stuff, but it's like not many people trust antivirus right now because that stuff just
you could be completely protected 6 ways from Sunday, but if you click a link and you say yes, it's all over.
Yeah.
And I don't get infected by viruses because there's a few things that I never click a link that was sent to me unsolicited. I always check the address of every email that comes to me, and usually I'll even go as far as to cursor over the .com and paste it, because if you cursor over the .com and paste it and it goes nowhere, that's a fake email, and sometimes it can get tricky, like the Better Business Bureau, BBB.com.
Yeah.
Well, I had a client that clicked on a bbb.nyc.com, and they pretended to be the Better Business Bureau of New York. Well, if you took the bbb.nyc.com and pasted it, it didn't take you to the Better Business Bureau of New York. So right off the bat, their complaint that they attached to the email was the virus. So.
Yeah, they've been doing that, especially you see the scammer. Like I remember watching this YouTube content creator that streams this stuff. Like he basically goes after the Indian scammers.
Oh yeah, what's his name? The Brit, the English guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he actually got involved with some news stations and whatnot. And they took one of those places down.
Yeah, in India.
Of course, it was replaced half a second later by 2 other places. But
yeah, because no matter what
his name is Jim. Damn damn, what was his last name?
Yeah, posing as old people, telling them, "Oh, is this the company that I have to pay my bill?" Yes, and they ask you for your what you would call it. They ask if you could send the money via gift cards, which is a scam.
Yeah. Let's see. YouTube. What is it? What do you call those guys? Call center.
Yeah, call center.
Indian. Yeah,
Call
Indian
center.
scams.
Indian call center scams.
Center scams. His name is on the tip of my tongue, and I gotta get it off, or it'll sit there. And let's see.
Yeah, because the guy it's Scam Baiter. That's the other one.
Oh, okay. No,
yeah,
this
he basically hacked into their computer and started.
Yeah, no, this guy Jim, he got into their security cameras.
Yeah.
So he could actually see each person, and he got into like all their private information and their phone system and everything, and he was literally calling them by their real names, and they were freaking out. Jim.
Yeah.
To YouTube.
Yeah,
Jim Browning.
Scammer.
Jim Browning. That's it.
Yeah, because they've been trying to take down scammers for a while, because they've been trying to, but the only way to do it is but you have to understand, these people that are doing this are also scammers, but they do it with a good reason, because they used to be criminals, but now they're just legit, legit people. legit. They went legit by stealing money from India.
Oh no, wait, you're confusing me.
They're stealing money from scammers. Like, I remember that one guy just took all the money, gave it back to.
Did you ever see the video of it was an Uber driver in New York City?
Yeah.
And the guy, his ride was in the back seat, and he was like constantly on the phone.
Yeah.
And he was like freaking out, and he was being told to go to like all these different ATMs.
Yeah.
And finally he asked the guy, like, what is this about? What are you doing? He's like, well, I got to get together like X amount of dollars, and the IRS is gonna have me arrested if I don't come up with this money, and he's like, dude, what are you talking about? First of all, the IRS doesn't call you like this. And then he asks this question. He goes, does the guy have an Indian accent? And then the guy's like, his eyes like open up. He's like, oh my God, I already gave him like $1,500. And they want more. And he's like, dude, didn't you think to have him call you back? Or oh my God. And the guy, like, his face goes white and his eyes bulge out, and they pull over. And now the driver is like dealing with this guy. And he's still kind of like doesn't want the guy to hang up, because he's still kind of worried.
Yeah.
And he's been over the coals so long that his ass is on fire, and he can't put it out.
Yeah, there's a lot of scams. I remember the guy basically just scammed the Indian caller from giving him, like, he gave him the information, but he gave him a fake ass website to do it on, and it was hilarious. Like, he basically, the money that it tracked the account that the Indian was using,
right?
And he basically took the money from the scammer.
Hey, Becca and Johnny Blaze have shown up. Let's greet.
Hey, Becca, how are you, Johnny Blaze?
How's it going?
Awesome.
There's a couple of scammer guys I watched. There's the one guy who built the Porch Pirate.
Oh, yeah, the engineer, the glitter bombs.
Right. Well, then he hooked up with the
Jim Brown.
Trilogy anti-scammers
Yeah.
and sent glitter bomb stuff to the
to India.
actual scammer call centers in India and
Yeah.
Pakistan, and really had some fun with that stuff. Had built-in cameras and such into it.
Have you ever seen his that engineer's channel? Not
Oh
only does
I'm sub to his channel.
yeah, he does the glitter bombs. He also did a lock for ice cream for his wife, and then he did the squirrel Olympics in his backyard.
Oh, his Squirrel Olympic stuff is amazing. It's hilarious to sit there and watch.
Yeah,
I've spent hours watching his Squirrel Olympic stuff.
yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
All right, what's going on with Becca? Damn, Becca. Writing bad checks to hookers. Wow.
Bad chicks.
Talk about bouncy.
Good evening, Fury.
Hello, Mr. Kitten.
Hello.
I don't know, Mr. Kitten, Miss Kitten. I mean, maybe it's Miss Kitten.
No, it's Mister.
Is it a Mr. Kitten?
Yeah, it's a Mister Kitten.
Hell hath no fury as a woman's gourd.
Jeez. Well, let's see.
I've never seen the Marble Olympics.
Oh, great.
Do marbles do anything by themselves?
So there's been a shooting that happened.
Where?
Atlanta, Georgia.
Oh yeah, they've already got the guy.
Yeah.
They've already got him pinpointed down. See that, I love the fact that you can get news quickly and everything else. But a bad point about it, though, is what used to be just a local story now becomes a national story.
Yeah,
and
that's
when
true.
the media wants to make pinpoint a particular item, then they can focus on a shooting here and a shooting there and really blow it all out of proportion into what's actually happens. It's like the shooting with the illegal that have been deported 5 times. The media spent all their time about the shooting itself and not about the fact that it was a 5-time deported illegal who did it.
There was a story. There was a story of a black woman at a party that has a concealed carry permit, and a black man shows up at the party with an AR-15, and before he even started shooting up the place, the black woman put him down. Now that story should have been national news because it had the crazy AR-15 in it, right?
Yeah.
But it was suppressed because here you have a situation where a concealed carry owner just stopped a mass shooting.
Yeah. I guess they because it's kind of weird. Like, it seems like the news sites are trying to play ethical, but they don't play ethical.
They have a narrative that they're trying to push.
Yeah.
And they'll only accept those things that the narrative, and if for some reason there's something that's beyond the narrative, then they'll start twisting it.
Yeah, I could twist that better than them. Like, oh yeah, by the way, a black woman with a open carry license shot a crazed gunman. That's diversity for you.
And the crazy, I heard a figure of like, the thing is this: how many times has a subject or a victim or whatever been saved by somebody carrying without shooting a single shot? And 9 times out of 10, that person never reports it. The criminal runs away, and it's a done deal.
Yeah.
And I people say that number is actually in the stratosphere compared to the amount of people that get shot. So again, it's these are things. The things don't kill people. People kill people. People have been
Yeah.
killing people ever since people have been around. So you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah, it's especially when you hear the story about a guy who killed a guy with his bare hands.
right? Or
Like
a
no
knife.
matter what they do, they always say it's guns, but they don't realize people. Yeah, like you say before, people kill people.
Right.
And
There's a funny Babylon B episode where they have an AR-15 sitting at a chair in a court.
yeah,
And
Yeah,
it's-
I ran that video a couple
Yeah,
days ago.
yeah.
Or sometime last week, I think.
Yeah,
I ran that Babylon B video. I'm surprised I didn't get a strike on it.
don't you remember the person holding it?
Um,
What do you mean? What are you talking about?
yeah,
I mean,
the
the
and-
thing too is the most people that are in charge of the fucking rules, they don't even know. And again, I mean, I'm not a gun nut. I was shot, and for the longest time after I was shot, even hearing a gunshot would make me jump. And my gunshot wasn't particularly easy to go through because it literally completely drilled through my tibia and shattered it. So we're talking about 6 months in a cast and lots of surgeries and all this shit. And I thought back then, you know, one tiny little pull of a finger and all this destruction and damage. But ultimately, it was a finger. It wasn't the trigger. It was the finger on the trigger.
Yep.
It took me a long time to get past the emotions and the feelings and all that. But you know, to be logical, you got to be logical, and logic is that people will kill people. They'll figure out a way.
Yeah.
You want to see a mass murder? Remember the guy who poisoned all the damn aspirins? That's a mass murder too. Okay. And making a bump stop illegal isn't going to stop that. You know, it's I said this and many times on a text forum. If you had a problem with arson, and arson is a bad thing, it's a criminal thing. You're setting fires, and people can die and people can get injured. But at the same time, a fire gives you warmth, cooks your food. So it's a thing, and arson is a thing that you do illegally with fire. But do we want to now make all cigarette lighters and matches illegal? Do you think that's going to stop arson? Are you if you're going to make red Bic lighters illegal because they're red, is that going to stop arson?
They're going to make lighters illegal because you light cigarettes with them, and they want to make cigarettes illegal.
Right, but you also like
so,
barbecue.
you know,
you light barbecues with them too.
Yeah. Well, that's
you ever heard of Frida Gibbs?
The only Gibbs I know is the guy from CSI.
Yeah, Frida Gibbs, like the gal, basically was a legend in the boxing ring.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. She
Female
fought.
boxer?
She was a female boxer that encountered a serial killer.
Interesting.
And she survived the fight against the serial killer because the serial killer abducted her in the van, and she fought him off and beat the crap out of him. And later he got arrested, and they found out the guy basically killed and raped several women. And there was like a story behind that, because it turns out she was not only a boxer, she was also a martial artist. Like this lady had like several knockouts. Yeah.
Yeah, she had the skills.
Yeah.
Hey, responding to Fury here. They had a lawsuit, and I remember reading about it here not too long ago, that a vegetarian sued their neighbors and called the city and filed official complaints against their neighbors for barbecuing or grilling in their back room or in their backyard. And
Oh,
She was smelling the
and-
burning meat.
she could smell the burning meat, or she, doesn't matter, could smell the burning meat. And the city, the people that come out and measure your grass to make sure your grass isn't too high,
yeah.
those idiots came out and actually wrote him a ticket because they could smell his grill from the sidewalk in front of his house.
This must be in California.
So, yeah, that kind of stuff actually happens.
This must be in California. Yeah, I hate HOAs. There's so many horror stories with HOAs.
No, this wasn't even an HOA.
No, I was Becca had mentioned something about an HOA.
Oh yeah, when we were buying this house, and I was talking to real estate agents, the wife kept, I told the wife, or told the agent, I said, oh, by the way, don't even show us any place that's involved with an HOA.
Bacon exclusion. I guess they had a high Middle Eastern content, or what do you guys call them? Asian content.
And she looked at me like I was nuts for not wanting, well, what do you mean you don't want HOAs? And I was like, no, I first of all, I'm not going to pay somebody else for the privilege of living someplace. And second of all, I don't need to have somebody come up and tell me they don't like the color that I painted my fence, or my grass is, oh, you didn't mow your grass this week, here's a $50 ticket.
You know, the crazy thing about HOAs too is you can stop paying your mortgage and not lose your house, but if you stop paying your HOA fee,
you can lose your they'll take your house away from you.
You could lose your house in a heartbeat. Same with like the condos, I could never understand that. You buy a condo, you're spending a ton of money, and then you've got almost the same amount of money in a condo association fee that supposedly provides all the maintenance. I mean,
Johnny,
that van life is starting to look better and better.
Johnny, you're right. I mean, I don't walk out. I may go out and sit in my side yard without and drink my morning coffee without my gun. But if I go out in the front of get in my truck and go anywhere, 99 times out of 100, I'll have my gun on my hip. The only way I won't is if I know I'm going, the time I had to go down to the courthouse and spend the day at the courthouse, it's like, nah, yeah, I know I'm parking my truck in the courthouse parking lot, but still, I'm just going to go ahead and leave my gun at home today.
I don't have a gun, but what I want my very first gun to be is a all stainless marine 12 gauge pump action shotgun.
Good God.
I figure the stainless because it'll be easy to keep, and then the pump action because what you can do is you could maybe put some salt shot, then some bird shot, then some buckshot, then some slugs. By the time you get so it's you can spice their ass. If that doesn't motivate them to leave, then you can fill them full of little holes. If that doesn't motivate them to leave, you can fill them with a little bigger holes.
No, if you want a shotgun, okay, I'm going to post the picture of the shotgun if you want a shotgun, here it is. Called a DP12. It's a double barrel pump shotgun.
Double barrel pump?
Double barrel pump.
Okay.
All right. The trigger is set up so that when you pull the trigger, first it shoots one side, then the other. Each tube contains 7 rounds.
That's pretty damn scary.
So you got 14 rounds.
Right.
12 gauge shotgun right there.
Oh yeah, that doesn't look assaultish.
All right, this foregrip is your actual what you pull back as your pump.
That looks like something out of Aliens.
Hmm.
That runs
How
about.
much is that thing?
The last time I looked, they were $1,800.
Okay. The last time I looked for mine, I think it was just around 1,000.
Okay, let's see here. DP12 for sale. Let's see, what are they going for sale now today?
I mean, the guns. I mean, it seems to me that there's no guns out there for sale. There's so many that are just gone. They're unavailable.
Yeah. Now they're giving out less lethal rifles now.
People are preparing for the worst.
Yeah. Because right now people are worried that things are going to go bad. Right now, people are considering buying like home
the
defense
price is
rifles.
down. It's $1,050 for a DP12 now.
Wow.
Mm.
So they've dropped in price.
Who makes it?
It's standard manufacturing.
Mm.
Not a standard manufacturing.
Yeah.
Talk about a generic name, Acme Gun Company. Yeah.
Yeah.
Standard manufacturing. Yes, we make assault rifle, assault shotguns, and staples.
Now, see, a friend of mine has one up in Alabama, and his last 2 rounds on either side are Dragon's Breath.
Dragon's Breath. What's that?
A Dragon's Breath, when you shoot them, it basically sends out a huge ass fireball.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like a tracer bullet?
No.
Okay.
As in Dragon's Breath shotgun shells. Here we go.
Yeah. They even got the pepper balls.
Let's see here.
Let's see. Johnny Blaze has a Mossberg 590. In the UK, only the rich can own shotguns.
Yeah. Because
everybody else is left with butter knives.
Yep.
Let's see. I know
Sean
there's
has a Spaz 12.
Come up here to videos of Dragon's Breath.
He takes it into the hot tub with him. Because, there's nothing like a spa in the spa.
Yeah. Because now they got home defense weapons. And it's like, oh, now you can bring out a sawed-off version of a shotgun, which is a.
Oh, now see, if you look at that picture close, if you could take the stock off, what do you have? You have a pistol with 2 handles.
It's like a double. That's a double barrel.
That's a double barrel with a double barrel pump. I guess that front handle is the pump.
Jesus. Yeah, there's like the pepper ball versions that they made. One that's called a T4E.
All right, here's a video of a guy shooting a Dragon's Breath.
Let's see, in the UK, there are several
those
million
things burn.
shotties.
Those things burn.
Furry says in the UK there are several million shotties. We're limited to 2 HOTS, no MG, and MUT be carried broken.
Okay, did you see that?
Yeah.
I didn't see anything.
I seen it.
All right, I'm backed up.
Oh, that picture. Yeah, the one.
Yeah, that thing burns the chicken with its.
Wow, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah,
yep.
And I do recall that's like an incendiary powder. That's.
So yeah, he's I asked him, I goes, what do you mean? He says, well, I look at it this way. If the first 12 rounds don't do anything, the last 2, I'm going to, if I got to get down to my last 2 rounds, I'm taking everybody out in fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. The Spaz 12. That's a hot looking shotgun.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Yeah,
all right. Well,
go ahead.
this second hour has really flown by.
Yeah.
I do got to go because I got to get
Yeah,
I gotta
get
get
out of here
supper
too.
going. I've got to get some supper going here.
I promised my mom that I take care of something.
And then I've got to lay down and take a nap before I go to work tonight.
All right.
Okay, tomorrow again, I may stream when I get home from work in the morning, or it may be like today where I just go ahead and stream after I wake up. But anyway, everybody try to have a good one. Any words of wisdom before we go, gentlemen?
Mm-hmm.
No matter where you go, there you are.
Yep.
Yeah.
How about you, JT?
It doesn't matter what you do as long as you do it right.
And I'm going to finish off a little different this time. It's going to be, if you're going to go out and have fun and get yourself in trouble, have at least as much fun getting out of that trouble as you did getting into it. And y'all have a good day, and I'll do my best to be back tomorrow. Thanks, JT. Thanks, Data.
No problem. Have
Appreciate
fun, man.
y'all coming on.
No problem.
Never trust a fart yet.